I am live. Okay, everyone. So come through. Let's spell right. TRJ. I am live and want a trans co-host who wants to talk about things cis people want to know. Okay, spell. Yay. Send. Starting now. Oh no, what did I do? Don't do. That's a double. Okay. So yeah, that was a double one. Oh shit, it says I'm live. I am live. Okay. So Rose, how you doing? Let me just type hello to you in the chat. Because I know you may just want to sit silently in the background, and that's fine. Um, yeah, I don't expect that we'll get many people. I don't usually get a lot of people, so I don't ever do this to get a lot of people. I just do it because I have a new podcasting machine and I'm learning how to use it, and it's fun to get on here and just ramble. I have what's called a gift for gab. At least Aggie says so. And she gets tired of me talking. So I'm going to talk into the void. Um, Now let me fix myself up. My little golds. I've got gold on here, not gold here. Um, I wear gold, brass, um, and copper for my Orisha, Oshun, and Oya. So you can't see it at the top of my screen, but it does say OnyxRose, Oshun Kemi, Oyawunmi. And Ocean Kemi and Oyawunmi are names bestowed on me by the spirituality I follow called Ifa, which, they do mean powerful. They are powerful names in that spirituality. So, yay! I just decided to include them. 4:55, almost 5 minutes, and it's just us. Okay, so Rose, are you trans? Quiet participant. Oh, okay. So then I am going to act like there are a bunch of cis people in the room. Wait, where is I can't find my stress balls and they're stressing me out. Today I am beautiful again. So in the realm of trans surgeries, if we go from the top up, the top down, so from the head down, there is hair replacement for trans women who have had male pattern baldness. Um, so hair transplants, facial feminization surgery, which is not one surgery, but a number of procedures. Excuse me. So my facial feminization surgery, which I had December 11th of last year, took 12 and a half hours. And that surgery was made up of 8 or 9 procedures. And each, was it was done in stages, and my physician would take a little break, and then they continue on. But 12 and a half hours is a good clip. Trans women, for the most part, and femme identified trans people, or non binary people as well, um, may get FFS, facial feminization surgery. Let me just blot here. I'm feeling like a little too much. And then I just took a lot of it off, didn't I? Okay, so yeah, facial feminization surgery. Also, there is vocal cord surgery, because as you can tell, my voice is actually like this, but I try to raise it up like this. I just can't talk naturally. So when I keep on talking, oh God, that is what happens. Hey Darren, thanks for joining. I'm OnyxRose, Oshun Kemi, Oyawunmi. I'm talking trans stuff. Trans stuff trans that people who are not trans don't know. And that is cis people, queer people who are who are cis as well, because most trans people know what I'm talking about. It's not anything earth shattering. So, as I was talking about, we're going from the head down. So I already discussed hair. What is it? Hair transplants, because sometimes trans women lose hair. So there is a full complement of hair transplants. Then there is facial feminization surgery, which are procedures that make up one session of surgeries, or even two sessions. I've heard of surgeons who split it into two sessions, where they will do either the bony structure first and the facial part, the fleshy parts second, after like a month of healing, or they'll do something along those lines. Mine was 12 and a half hours straight through. So I mean, I don't know, like I was asleep. I didn't really feel all that. But yeah, vocal cord surgery. The thing about testosterone versus estrogen is that for trans men and not male, but mask identified non-binary people, or masked people in general who take testosterone, HRT, their voice will drop, and that's the problem, is that trans women and non-binary femme, people who take HRT, estrogen, our voices do not drop. So we have to vocal train, and vocal training is a pain in the butt. Not going to lie. I've been at it for 2 years on and off. I have not been consistent. So that is my fault. But yeah, vocal training is hard. So I'm going to try and talk like this, but no, that's not it. So this is my voice right here. But I can talk right like this and like this. If I keep on doing it like this, I can talk like this. But that's not my natural voice yet. So I've got to talk like this. So yeah, vocal cord surgery. What it does is it shortens the vocal cords, because in cis women, the vocal cords are shorter, and in cis men, or shouldn't say it like that, not in cis men, but in people assigned male at birth and people assigned female at birth. So people assigned female at birth, their vocal cords are shorter, and people assigned male at birth, their vocal cords are longer. The action and process of the vocal cord surgery is to shorten the vocal cords, thereby allowing less, I guess, resonance and pitch. Yeah, and all the other stuff. It just, I've heard people who've had this surgery, and I don't know what the hertz is, but it jumps up. It definitely jumps up. And so uh, I don't want to sound like Minnie Mouse, but I don't want to sound like this either. I'd kind of like to sound like this or a little bit higher consistently. Hey, Lynette, thanks for joining, talking all things trans. Yeah, so I would like to kind of talk like this all the time, but honestly, I can't keep it up. And it doesn't sound natural in my ears. So wait, hold on. Let's do this. And I don't know if anybody can hear that. I can hear it in my ear. It's applause. So yay! That's for thanking you, you three people who are in here. Um, but yeah, so vocal cord surgery. Training is hard. There are people, you can find a lot of training videos on YouTube. There are trans women whose voices are beautiful and perfect. And so it can be done. It's not that it can't be done. It's just that it's harder for some people, harder for people who transitioned later in life. Um, and that's unfortunate. I transitioned later in life, as you can tell. I am visibly trans and proud of it. So the trade-off is my deep voice. Even if anybody were to say, "Oh, that is a woman," or that is a femme person, once they hear my voice, they think, okay, something else is going on. That is a guy in a dress. And I'm like, well, okay, you can, think whatever you want. I haven't had an issue yet. I've had, a lot of stanky poo looks and shit, but, nothing that I haven't been able to handle yet. So, let's knock on wood and hope that that stays good for a long time now, because I don't want to get chased out of, uh, you know, my own city. No, A-Town down, bitches. But yeah, cheering. So yeah, let's continue going to surgeries. The next surgery is right here. The larynx? No, laryngeal. I don't know. It's the Adam's apple, and it's when it's prominent, you can get it shaved out. It's a tracheal shave. That's the name of it, tracheal shave. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember it. Yeah, so it's in layman's terms, it's the Adam's apple, but it's called a tracheal shave because it's the trachea, and sometimes it protrudes, and sometimes, more than likely, and people assigned male at birth, will it be more noticeable? I just got lucky. Mine is not noticeable, so I didn't have that when I had FFS. Excuse me. So I also have a bit more weight on my face. I've never had the Adam's apple problem though. Anyway, so I've never needed a tracheal shave. I knew I wouldn't. So the next thing going on is breast augmentation. A lot of trans women choose to get breast augmentation. They feel, actually, I am not going to speak on how they feel because honestly, I don't know, and that is not for me to say. But I can tell you how I feel. And that is, I have never thought the idea of silicone, plastic, anything like that would feel comfortable in my body. Now, saying that, I do have titanium plates in my head and in my chin. and I never thought I would have that either. So, I can never discount it, but for the longest time, I've always thought I would never have breast augmentation. Just the idea of having silicone implants, and I have not seen, um, I haven't seen a really good one yet. I've seen, okay, so I've seen some pretty good augmentations, but a lot of them are spaced too far out. The chest wider, so the breasts don't look natural when shirts off. Yeah, when you're wearing a bra, that's fine, but when your shirt's off and you're not wearing a bra, they just don't look natural. So I was considering something like fat grafts to the breast area, but the problem with fat grafts, of course, is that they migrate or have the potential to migrate and have the potential to be sucked back into the body, thereby losing the shape of the breast that you were trying to get in the first place. So I think that is unfortunately where I am going to be stuck, because I have B cups, and I don't plan on moving any farther. I don't plan on breast augmentation, is what I mean. That is not something I think I'm going to get. So moving on down the line. So one thing that estrogen is supposed to do, and of course, when you first start taking estrogen, you will go through what's called a second puberty. If you are not already on puberty blockers, then you will have your first puberty when you are in your teens, maybe younger. And then when you start to transition and you start to take HRT, which is a hormone replacement therapy, for trans people, femme identified, or trans women, that is estrogen, spironolactone, and progesterone. Spironolactone is supposed to stop it's supposed to reduce the amount of testosterone, I guess. Yeah, but now it's been shown and proven that monotherapy with estrogen is good enough to lower the testosterone and keep the estrogen at the necessary level. I'm going to cough again, so excuse me. Okay, so yeah, the unfortunate thing is that estrogen does not lower the voice. So I cry because my voice is so low. The one good thing about estrogen is that my skin is super soft now, whereas before it was not. Um, the hair on my arms is gone. I'm sorry, hair is gone. So the hair on my arms is gone. The hair that was on my chest is gone. The hair that was on my legs is gone as well. I have not shaved since I started transitioning with HRT, which is when I started in 2016. I have not shaved since then. I have not shaved my underarms since then. That is the good thing for me. That is what I got out of it. I did not get um, the distribution of fat. Well, I did, but it all went to my stomach, and did not go to my butt or hips. Like I'm like bitch. So I'm good friends with one of my girls, and I'm jealous of her because like she got hit hard with the estrogen stick. Like she looks good, And I'm like, why? But then it's okay. I am who I am, and she is who she is. We both come with our separate set of problems and separate set of wins, and that's cool. So on down the way, first of all, tummy tuck, liposuction, GLP-1s. I don't know. Like liposuction, I don't know. That's a little nerve wracking. Tummy tuck. I know somebody very intimately who has just had a mommy makeover, um, and she's in a lot of pain. Um, a lot of pain. I don't think she was prepared for that. I certainly was not. It was a lot of work to be done in such a short amount of time. And just, it was a lot of work. Like, I had a lot of work done on my face, but this is like all over. So she had a breast reduction and like liposuction, 360 liposuction, and like a Brazilian butt lift, and like another thing. So it was pretty intense. And she is not all right. And she was like, please come talk to me like at the end of April. Do not bother me until then. And I was like, okay, cool. Okay, so then let's get down to the nitty gritty. Downstairs, the end all be all of all trans women, it seems, at least for those in red states. You know what I'm saying? The penis, the cock, the dick, you know what I'm saying? All of that good stuff. The girl cock, the gawk, you know what I'm saying? There are so many words. The sheeness. We could go on and on. But girl cock, we love it. And apparently, so do a lot of conservative people, conservative white cis hetero men. Hetero, sure. Yeah. And I shouldn't say they're not hetero, because if you're looking at a trans woman and you're a guy, then yeah, you are hetero. You're straight. That's just the end all be all. But it's the fact that you're on TV spouting transphobic bullshit, and then in the next breath jacking off to our pictures and videos. So oh, you know what? Before we get down there, let's go back up here. So facial hair just does not disappear when you start taking estrogen. For trans men and mask identified people who take HRT, they grow facial hair. They grow hair everywhere, and that's something that they have to contend with. They are not used to that. Like, they're used to having a smooth butt, and then all of a sudden they get a hairy butt. Hairy back, hairy arms, hairy chest, and like for me, all that hair just went away. And I was like, yes, yes. But I feel for my mask identified or trans men. So, I'm happy to not have that hair anymore. But yeah, so unfortunately for us, and I'm non-binary, by the way, but I am femme-leaning. So for us femme-leaning and trans women, people who take estrogen, and it does not remove your facial hair. There you can you can look it up. There are people who are going to say it does. It does not. There are people who are going to say it softens it. It does not. There are two ways to remove facial hair, and one of them is laser, and one of them is electrolysis. Laser, first of all, the only proven, scientific, studied so far method of permanent removal of hair on the face or anywhere is electrolysis. Laser, you can remove darker hair. You cannot remove red hair, nor can you remove silver/gray hair. Um, and the darker hair or brown hair that you can remove, and the blondish hair. I don't know if you can remove blonde hair with laser, but the hair you can remove does grow back, and it may grow back slower, but it's always going to grow back. It's never going to be completely gone, and some people are okay with that. I started my electrolysis like in 2015, and stopped for until 2022. Uh, yeah, long circuitous path. Picked it back up in 2022. It was a pain then. It is an absolute pain now. If you've never had electrolysis, go get a needle, sterilize it, put it in, heat it up with a lighter, and then find a pore on your face that has hair on it and stick it in there. That's what it is. Every single pore on your face, they take an electrode needle, and so an electric needle, shove it in that pore and shoot it at the root and kill it. So you can imagine, or maybe you can't imagine, the amount of pain it is. And so there are some trans people who can sit through it. Like my friend, she said she can sit through 3 hours and just sleep and, blah, 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 and just talk. I can barely get through 45 minutes, y'all, honestly. Like, an hour is pushing it for me. Like, I got pain tolerance in other ways, but like not facial feminization surgery, electrolysis is not one of them. It is so painful. Hey, what's up, Neuro D? How you doing? Talking all things trans surgeries, the stuff that cis people don't know about. How you doing? So if you want, Neuro D, if you want to jump in, or any of y'all want to jump in, come on in. Let me know. I'll do the old invite. But all things trans. Glad to see it, Neuro D. Glad to hear it. I'm good. I'm good, actually. Really good. I'm just on here talking tonight. My podcast machine is working wonderfully, I think. So I just wanted to hop on here, take a little chat, blah, blah, blah. Talk trans surgeries. Hey, Samantha, what's up? If anybody wants to join me, just say so. We all like this. I'm talking for cis people, or queer people who don't know about trans surgeries, anything like that. Haven't showered, but fuck it, why not? Okay, let me get you in here. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna have to spell it all out. Virgin. Okay, here we go. Boom. Okay, invite coming. Hey, Samantha.
Hey.
What's up, Neuro D? How you doing?
Doing okay. Just
Yeah.
been having a day.
Having a day?
Yeah, between going through clutter and trying to get my house clean or presentable, and had a plumbing issue I had to contact the HOA about because it's in the garage.
Right.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm on here tonight, talking surgeries, so on and so forth, that people who are not necessarily trans identified in the sense that they don't know about trans surgeries, but have wanted to know the things that they have wanted to know but couldn't ask, or it may be a little too taboo to ask, so